here. We definitely want to record this one because Nick has a couple other groups that he's going to share this in. But good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I am Kimba Garcia, one of the founders here. Well, I am the founder here at the Networking Lounge and one of the admin. And then I recently asked Nick to also be an admin in here because he has so much value to give you guys. It's crazy. To the point, I recently actually hired Nick to be the virtual CFO of my company, RKG. He invited me to be in his mastermind. I got to know how he does both life and business. I think, Nick, that you don't really have a work-life balance as much as you just have like life, you know?
That's actually, that's probably a great way to put it. I joke sometimes and I said, I can't tell if I'm always not working or if I always am working. I don't really know which one it is. I love that.
And what I love is that either way, you're doing it all from your tiki hut in your backyard in the sunny, beautiful Florida and your new dream home. And I love that.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much. I've been quite blessed.
Well, I'm glad you said that because here for Thankful Thursday, right? It's Thankful Thursday for anybody out there. And Thankful Thursday is so important in 2020 because we have to absolutely feel gratitude and count our blessings every single day. It's so important. So I wanted to ask you, Nick, you have 17 streams of income now? Is that correct? Okay, a successful business, a beautiful home, lots to be thankful for. But if I was to ask you the thing that you are the most thankful for in your life right now, what would you say?
You know, my ability to provide myself with a lot of self-care.
I love it.
Okay.
So important though.
Yeah, today I had my second massage of the week. And then I went to a chiropractor right after that. And then I came home. I have an assistant that just started this week. He's out running errands, so I don't even have to fucking think about it.
Nice.
You know, and then here I am basking in self-care. You know, you know, the assistant is also a form of self-care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I think that to make the hard part of our lives easier is self-care. You know, just in general. You know, I don't. You know, I'll share with you briefly. When I hired him, I said, God, you know, I feel so lazy asking you to like sweep out the pool or sweep the tiki hut or, you know, whatever. I was like, God, not only do I feel like I'm telling you to do something small and remedial, but I'm also kind of saying, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? And it's weird to say that out loud, you know? He's got such a great attitude. He said, Nick, if you wanted to do it, I wouldn't be here, you know?
Yeah.
But so I came up with a system with him. And instead of having to say these things out loud, I use Trello, which you're familiar with, free CRM, Trello.com. It's amazing. And then it's all in the cloud. So every day I look around the house and I see everything I don't want to do. And then I add it to this list. And it's as easy as that. And, you know, and I'm like, I am so much better at identifying what I don't want to do than doing it.
Dude, I love that. And it's so funny that you say that because I was going through the same thing with my new office assistant this week. You know, like I was having to tell her little things like, hey girl, could you take out the trash? You know, hey, could you please go, somebody bought dollar store toilet paper. That's not going to work for us. Like, can you go get the Charmin, right? And I was feeling like that too. And it does take, I think probably a lot of people do go through that though. So I'm glad that you brought that up because it's like, it does take a certain, like you don't want to feel like an asshole or like you're bossy, but you're the boss.
Right.
So it's like, well.
And the task is small. It's like, so, you know, so I'm going to encourage you to try the Trello thing. Hey, every day when you start, open this website and everything I need you to do is going to be on there. And I found it's such an easier understanding. He comes in, he doesn't have to ask. I love talking to the guy. We hang out all day long, but he doesn't have to ask me questions. It's right in the thing, you know, and if we don't have the supplies, like I just got brand new flooring. And I said, hey, you know, I'd love to see this swept and mopped today. I don't own anything like a broom or a mop. So you go out and buy it, I'll pay for it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just it's nice because they are like these little tasks that almost, I hate to even say it, they almost feel like insults, right? They almost feel like I'm too good, but that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say I'm not good at it. I don't have the drive to do it, you know.
Well, and it's also like getting those small things off of your plate allow you to really focus on some of the bigger picture items, as well as keep your mind free for the creativity that supplies all the people that you employ their living that they make, you know? And so it is important to get some of those smaller tasks. And I think the art of delegation is something a lot of people do struggle with, for one reason or another, this being one of them, is like, I feel bad asking somebody else to do it. And then there's the other side of that of like, well, I don't trust anybody else to do it. But delegation is such an important part of growth that, you know, I mean, it has to happen. And I will try the Trello app. I do usually text her a little list in the morning, as well as I do, you know, Alex, our other office person at RKG. I kind of give them a little list to kick off with. But back to now, everybody kind of gets to see now the lifestyle that you've been able to create and the art of delegation you've been able to achieve. So let's kind of rewind back to like where this started for you, like how specifically lead mining. I do want to get to the rest of your background, but like specifically lead mining, because I know that you do have multiple streams of income, but lead mining is your baby. It is your main bread and butter. So let's tell people a little bit about how that came to be and the rate in which it scaled and how you think you were able to achieve that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So I was an executive for a while at like a real estate education company. And this taught people how to invest in real estate. I started off as an assistant with that company, and after 8 months got promoted 3 times to executive. It was really wonderful. While I was an executive there, I ran 8 departments, much like all my streams of income now. Is a lot of, I have ADHD, so it allows me to probably handle more secular things than the average person. I can actually compartmentalize and not be like, oh, well, these aren't related. I don't care. I actually have more fun if they're not related. You know, so I'm managing these 8 departments, and what I was able to do with this experience was see what was missing, you know. And people, they would pay us at this company, the education company, $30,000 for an education. And I was in charge of fulfillment. I was the executive in charge of making sure they got their money's worth, making sure that we delivered as promised. So it was, there was a lot on the line. But anyway, so I was able to really see all the problems, because when people pay $30,000 for support, they're going to demand it out of you. So all these things kept coming up, you know, leads, you know, and then the main way that they were doing it was mailing, you know, direct mail. And, you know, we're just not in that era anymore. We're in the cell phone, we're in the email world, if anything. You know, we're not in the mail mode. And, you know, one realization I had is that mail is the only thing in the world you can't stop. You cannot stop mail from coming to your house. You cannot have a cell phone. You cannot have a house phone.
Yeah.
But if you have a mailbox, there's stuff getting dropped in it. So anyways, I was able to see these problems from like a 30,000-foot view. And I ended up stumbling into it. It was totally accidental. When I left Clever, that company, can you hear that wind, or are you good?
No, you're good.
Perfect. I love it.
It looks like you're just blowing in it, but it doesn't sound bad at all.
Yeah, life is hard over here.
Yeah.
The breezes are too strong. But gosh darn it.
I love it so much, though.
Yeah. So we end up talking to all these people, finding all the problems. Now, when I actually requested to work from home. So one thing I'll share with all the viewers is I just asked. Things weren't really going very well at work, and not my performance, but a lot of people didn't like me. I was a rare breed. I was an ex-restaurant manager who was thrown into the office, you know? So that didn't really work for a lot of people. You know, they don't like that. I don't like doors being closed. What's going on behind that door? What are you doing over there? There's no doors in a restaurant, you know,
Yeah.
in the bathroom, you know? So anyways, things weren't really working out as far as my relationship with the other executives. So I requested to work from home. I said, cut my pay in half, send me home. You know, you guys don't want me here, and you win. I don't want to be here anymore. So let me keep doing my job. I'll work from home. And they said yes. They actually cut my pay in half. They made me 1099, and they sent me home. And they said I never have to return to the office again. And guess what? I did just that. Never again. So I ended up going home and cold calling every day. Every day I cold called 300 to 600 calls a day because I had all this free time. The job that they asked me to do from home, I had already had systematized. My 9 to 5 was a system. I didn't even have to work that much. So I was literally owning that system with only 5 hours a week. So they gave me half my pay, yet they gave my free time back by the tune of 35 hours a week. So now I'm only working 5 hours a week and I'm making half as much. Well, I'll take it, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being a waster, I decided I need to work. What's next? I thought that was what's next. It wasn't. What's next now? And so I just called and called and called and called. And my best friend at the time was an ex-stockbroker. So he was slick. Man, was he good. And we literally hung out every day for 6 hours a day via Zoom, exactly like this. And I cold called live in front of him. And he talked shit, he made fun, he coached, he trained, he belittled, and we had the best time of our lives. I was the worst damn cold caller, okay? And this is true. I actually have these videos. I'll unleash them in the group. I recorded my first 22 days ever of cold calling. I had no idea where it was going or what I was doing, but I recorded them, and I still have those videos.
Awesome.
But anyway, so I ended up doing that. And before I knew it, a guy called me up and said, Nick, I hear you're cold calling. Can I pay you? I'm like, yeah. Another guy calls me up, Nick, I hear you're cold calling. Could I pay you? Yeah. And another guy called me up and he actually wanted to be coached. He said, Nick, I would love for you to coach me. I was like 3 days a week for 30 minutes a day. I charged him $200. And I said, yeah, okay, you got it. You know, so now I'm making half my salary working from home, and I'm almost generating another $600 a week. And I'm like, I'm making as much as I was, but I'm only working 3 hours a day. I was like, wait a, I was like, something magical is happening right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could literally feel it, you know, like when the dinosaurs were in the land before time and they just went over the horizon. They're like, we're going to eat all that vegetation. You know,
the best feeling ever when you like, you know, you're like, this is it. This is going to explode.
Yeah, like I didn't even know what was going on, but I was crushing it. Okay,
Yeah.
and I have no idea. And I just remember I kept calling my parents, oh my God, I just signed up someone else. And each person was a small amount of time consumption, but a good amount of pay. And so then one day I remember seeing, I'm so competitive. I remember seeing a competing company, foreign company, Filipino. Hey, I see in a group with 60,000 people in it. Hey guys, I offer cold calling. You know, he's got misspelled words. The English is broken. And, you know, I'm such a firm believer, and every entrepreneur watching this can relate. I am the best in the world at what I do. You are the best in the world at what you do, right? We have to know this somewhere in our heart. We have to truly understand that somebody using a competitor's service is actually a disservice to them because I'm so fucking good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I did is I saw this message from a foreign virtual assistant in this group, and I said, what am I doing? And I typed this thing, and it must have came right from the heavens. I don't even remember what I said. I said to the tune of, hey guys, I don't normally do this, but I want to share with you what I'm creating. And I just type up 3 paragraphs. I hit send. By the end of the day, I had 387 comments on the post of people that were interested. They all commented their email address. So I went through, I don't even think you know this story. So I went through and I this is so true. I'm an action taker. And when that post blew up, I did everything right then and there. I stayed up till 3 in the morning and I emailed all 387 people. And then when I woke up the next morning, I went to check the post. Oh my God, is it over 400? And it was gone. It was deleted by the admin of the group.
What?
And if I would not have stayed up until 3 in the morning and emailed everybody, I would have lost all of that vital information. Okay. So I didn't hurt me at all because I capitalized in the moment. And the next day, I signed up 20 new clients that day.
Wow.
And I literally called the CEO of the day job that sent me home. And I said, I quit, dude. I was like, I'm done, bro. No, and they were actually so in the weeds. He asked me to put in a 1-month notice. So thank God, because to be honest with you, I kind of quit too early. You know, I quit at the first sign of jackpot rather than proving it to myself, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
However, that's called burning the boats, you know, which is something that I'm also very fucking good at. You know, I always used to joke and say, I put myself in the weeds to work my way out, you know? And I'm sure you can relate, Kim, but we're very much alike.
How do you know that, Nick? It's like you've seen me do it.
Yeah. You know, like I love you. You're the only person who probably takes on as many different projects as I do. And you know what? It is a game doing it all and being amazing at it. And you know, and proving to all the people that said I can't or wouldn't that I can and that I am. And so, you know, that was when lead mining was absolutely official. I signed up 20 people, and since that day, true story, I don't think we've ever done less than a $8,000 week in sales. And now we average about $15,000 to $18,000 a week, every week, like clockwork. I can't believe it. Every week I'm like, is there really people that are going to pay me another $15,000 this week? Is that really what's going to happen? And it does. It happens every week. But yeah, so, and I know, Kimba, you alluded to in the post, one of the things about lead mining is that's not that much money to anyone who makes a lot of money. But the truth is we're 70 to 75% profit at lead mining. So it's like, it's all mine. I can even take care of Uncle Sam, which that's my highest paid employee is Uncle Sam. But yeah, so that's how lead mining got created. And you know, I've been systematizing, training, and riding this wave ever since.
I just love it so much. So I don't want to get down a rabbit hole, but I'm reading this book right now and it's called A Storyteller's Secret. And if anybody has not read that book, it is now my favorite book. I'm not even done with it, and it has moved its way up to my favorite book. But one of the things that he talks about are people like us that have ADHD, ADD, I guess they deleted the H out of it nowadays or whatever the case is. But he talks about it like it's a superpower. And it really is. I think that's the reason why you and I connect so well is the same reason why we've both been able to find success. And it's like, we're just fucking crazy, dude. We're just crazy enough to think we can, to not give a shit if it fails, to be brave enough to get up and try again. And when this doesn't work, instead of just becoming consumed with the like, oh, I failed, it's like, nah, I have learned and now I'm going to get up and do something again. And I think that that's what like stops a lot of people is it's like, it's all up here. And if you're just crazy enough to try again or to get outside of the lines, then you might just do something. You know, you just have to be crazy enough to keep trying. And that's, but I say that, I laugh. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'll just start laughing to Robbie and I'm like, dude, Nick is so weird. He's like, he's my favorite person because he's so fucking weird, dude. It's like, you will never find another Nicholas Nick on this planet. And what's crazy about that is it's your unique selling proposition. It's like, you are so boldly you that it has led to this wonderful lifestyle. And I think that so many people can learn that from both of us, because it's like, man, your best selling proposition is you. It's your level of crazy. There are gonna be people that don't like you for it, but who gives a? It's like, who cares? And so, okay, so in lead mining, you do cold calling.
Yeah.
You've now started doing text messaging, which is super cool. And then y'all do email campaigns?
We don't do email. We do skip tracing, which is getting a phone number, and list pulling. And what would probably relate most to everybody would be, Facebook advertising as well. Is one of the things that, we do. I'm actually adding a consulting division. I've got a manager underneath me that I've hired, and I've got an assistant. So I made a post a couple of days ago that I know Kimba saw that said, guys, I am maxed out. I have 17 streams of income, and I need to be left alone, kind of thing. And because of that post, 3 more people messaged me and wanted me to work with them. And I was like, okay. So,
you're like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah.
And you said yes anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. And then so I said yes to everyone, and then in the same day, my assistant took the job, and I had someone agree to be my business partner on the consulting side. And so I was like, you know what? Now is the time. Now it's time to scale. But, lead mining in itself, we also even offer a cold calling course. Lead mining in itself is 7 streams of income, and it started off as 3, and it's literally grown to 7. And to be honest with all the viewers, if I did not keep innovating, I would be in the dust right now. I would not be coming live to you if I didn't keep adding services, making packages, making it simpler. I constantly look at my customer onboarding system and I say, is it easy enough? Is it clean enough? Do they understand what we're doing? You guys go to my webpage, there's no fluff. I think there's like 12 sentences on the whole fucking page.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and it is right to the point. You go there, you know what you're getting, and my cell phone number is directly on the site. And that's really my secret sauce. If I could say, I have one other than everything that I do, it's really the fact that I'm the customer support guy. And I make sure to tell everyone, hey, you're talking to the founder. This is Nicholas Nick. I own the company. Oh my God, really? Yeah, hey, this is my cell phone. Why don't you go ahead and store this and text or call me if you ever need anything,
I love it.
And
but the other secret sauce is what you just said. Anybody watching or that comes back and watches this later needs to know, like, the most important thing that I heard you say is you make doing business with you easy. You're accessible, and doing business with you is easy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what a great point. Sometimes clients call me up and they go, what do you need from me to get started? Just for you to pay. That's it. I don't need to, I will talk to you for an hour, but I don't need to. On the website, we got 10 questions, and right after that, you pay. Answer those 10 questions and pay, and we're done.
That's everything we need to know. And so I actually brought you on as our CFO, and so I've got to utilize, you've been giving us some cold calling along with that, which has been really cool. So what I was able to do is send over to Nick my target demographic, the zip codes that I work in, the home, I told him, I think we want all homeowners in these zip codes that live in over $150,000 home and up. So all those people, and so he put together a list for me. We started cold calling. We've already got a couple leads out of that my team has been able to take. And so that's been really cool. And I'm excited to be able to repurpose, because that's what he's talking about, skip tracing. For anybody that doesn't know, I honestly didn't understand exactly what that was.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he can actually find your target customer and get you their information. So now I'm going to be able to actually repurpose that back into creating a Facebook audience and start hitting these people's news feeds with RKG ads that are my exact fucking customer and the exact fucking thing. And I know they're not a renter.
Yeah.
I know that they live in a home that's big enough to be the one that I want to re-roof at least, right? And I know that they live in the zip codes where they had storm damage because of lead mining, skip tracing services. So powerful tool. And I wanted to loop back to, since you're really in the marketing space and it's really what you're really good at, Nick, it's what most business owners struggle with. You know, it's like they're really good at what they do. And we have a lot of contractors in here because that's, the industry that I'm in. But a lot of these guys are really, and ladies out there, they're really talented at what they do, but they struggle with marketing. And even in the post I made in the networking lounge a couple days ago, I asked people straight up, it's one of the reasons why you were the first person I want to start, live with the experts. Yeah. And one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on first was because the biggest feedback that I got from entrepreneurs was, we need help with marketing. We need help with leads. We know that we're the best at what we do, but we need to be able to find the customers so we can help.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, so in your opinion, what is the best way to do? Is it cold calling? Is it text messaging? Is it Facebook? Is it a combo effect? What do they do?
So I got one answer and then a short story to support it. So it's what I recommend people do is they look into their past and they see what they're naturally good at. Okay, what have you been good at your whole life? For me, it's technology. For me, it's people. For me, it's talking. So like I kind of have a couple of things I'm really good at. So I can attack these things from multiple angles. But like if you spent a lot of time at a call center and you're just comfy wumpy on a phone, then maybe it's cold calling for you. If you spent your whole time like I did, your whole childhood growing up playing video games on a computer, then maybe it's social media. It's really whatever resonates with you. So the first thing is picking your strategy or weapon, if you will. Okay. And then the next thing you have to do is make sure you're in the right vicinity. So I got a short story that I'll share with you that I think reminds people that we don't often put ourselves in the vicinity of the right people. Okay. We have to be around potential clients. If I'm selling tap shoes, I should not be at a ballet dance. You know what I mean? I need to be around people that are similar. So I used to hang around with a bunch of guys that were single all the time. Okay. And I don't mean dating, I mean single, like super single. Like they haven't seen a girl in a while. And I always had girlfriends and female friends, and they said, Nick, where do you get the girlfriends? Where do you find them? And I look at them, the three of them, they asked me this question when they were together. And I said, do you guys even go to where girls are? Are you guys even putting yourself in the vicinity of women at all? Or are you expecting to order a pizza and it's some cute chick and she gives you her phone number and your extra large pepperoni pizza? So often, and it's so easy to relate it to dating because I think everyone kind of gets it, right? But it's the same thing. You need to find your audience and you need to put yourself around them, whether it's Facebook or a local group or Kimba's masterminds or my mastermind or, whatever it might be, you've got to find it. And then when you do, you're going to hit the jackpot. So to give you a more thorough answer, I literally built lead mining. After that day, when I made that post and I signed up 20 clients, guess what became my #1 form of lead gen? Posting in that fucking group. And I got to tell you, I crushed it. I hired VAs to log into my account overnight and go into these groups and message people that said things and comment certain things on other people's posts. And I used Facebook groups. So my first recommendation would be to explore Facebook groups. It's super easy. Whether it's local or national, you're going to find groups of people. So I found about 3 to 5 groups with over 30,000 members. And then I ended up, I'm going to use the phrase exploiting it, because to this day I was banned from 2 of the groups and the other guys blocked me. What happened was everyone caught wind that Nick's living the life. They know they're following me and I'm making the money, but they're doing the investing. So everyone who owned these groups, instead of getting mad at me, they just bought competing services because they already had the money because they were successful. So then they would like buy my competitor. And then they're like, now I am the only one who does everything. But all the competitors normally just do one of those 5 things. But they don't even want anyone knowing about me because now I'm like the Amazon, if you will. Lead generation. But so I share that with you to say I was so good at it, but that gave me, I was so good at it for so long, almost a year. until that happened. So that gave me the brand recognition and everything that I needed to now have a foundation. Now I have to be like a normal business because no one lets me do that shit anymore. So now I have to run Facebook ads and stuff like, and do stuff like that. But so that was my story. I literally made over $1.5 million by advertising my services inside of Facebook groups.
Which is mind-blowing. I'll tell you this, it's been the same for me, I guess, because I feel really comfortable on Facebook. I've been using Facebook since it was meant for, remember when Facebook was like only for college students?
Yes.
Did you have one back then?
No, I didn't. You had to have a college web email
Yeah.
address.
Yeah, it was my freshman year of college. I didn't finish, but I did go for a year. My freshman and my only year of college, let me say that. I decided that was not the route for me, but I've been doing Facebook since I had to log in with the college. And so I feel really at home here. And I love that was your advice. It's just kind of like, one, we've said your unique selling proposition is you. And then we've came back and said, hey, the best marketing strategy for your business is the one that you're the best at, the one that you're the most comfortable with. Right. And so Facebook has been that for me, and it's also allowed me to scale RKG from 0 to multiple 7 figures in 3.5 years. Yeah. And so I tell people, if you're not comfortable with Facebook, you should probably get there, especially in today's world, because it's went from just for colleges, just for college students to, I mean, I think it was like, I just read some statistics, but it's like 74% of adults in the United States check their Facebook page 8 times a day.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing the power that comes with branding on Facebook. So I love that. But the cold calling and the skip tracing to get who, even if you're going to do Facebook and you're going to run Facebook ads,
it still helps.
How powerful is it to have the list, to just have the list, and then to be able to hit them from air, land, and sea? It's like, oh, these people called me, these people texted me, then they get in their timeline, and it's like, oh, there, it's that 7 points of contact that you really need before you get your first sale. Yeah. And so I want you to, we'll end it up, thank you for your time today, Nick. I know you have a lot of hanging out under that tiki hut by your badass swimming pool to do today. So I appreciate you coming on. We're going to end with, I want you to tell everybody, for anybody out there, they're looking for lead gen for their business or consulting for their business, right? And now are you taking on any more? Because I know that you have me and now a couple other clients that you actually are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say a coach, but I mean, even more than that, like a working part of our, my day-to-day business.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've been wondering what to name it. And it's almost like your virtual executive, you know what I mean? And because it's like your virtual executive team, the people I've paired up with, I now come with an assistant and a sales director and then myself. And so it's like now for the cost of a third of what that one full-time employee would be, you could get, three of us, so, we're definitely taking on more. I'm very excited to, see what manifests, but, lead generation, I would just really focus on who's your target audience, and if it's, and reach out to me if anyone has any questions. You can message me directly, and just go, hey, Nick, this is what I do. What do you think? Like, I have no idea either. But you know what? Sometimes when you're too deep in it, you can't see it clearly. We can brainstorm solutions. We can add forms of marketing. See, that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to add 5 forms of marketing. Because if lead mining is doing this great off of 1, then it's time to make 2 and 3. We do YouTube ads now, Google ads, Facebook ads. I still have something happening in groups, more incognito, and stuff like that. And it's like, I need to kill it. I want to be the most successful lead generator on the planet. And I need to be able to generate leads for myself in order to get there. But yeah, guys, if anyone needs to reach out, and just like Kimba said, it's really not coaching. And it's really more than consulting. Because I'm going to connect you with the resources. I'm going to help you get the job done. I'm going to follow up with you. And in some cases with my team now, I'll even take the work and I'll do it and just tell you what I did. I'm kind of like a programmer, except I don't program computers. I program businesses.
That's exactly, I mean, I'm just here to testify for that 1,000%, because that's been one of the most powerful things about having you on my team, is that it doesn't matter what problem happens today. Is a brainstorm session with Nick seems to we never don't find the answer, right? It's like you and I can jump on a call for an hour. It feels like 5 minutes, but hey, we come out of that with a solution. And so with Nick's help for RKG, I've been able to build out an amazing P&L report that's probably, I haven't seen a lot of other people's P&L reports, but mine has to be one of the most detailed, intricate, broken out versions of it. And I can't tell you the power that comes with that as a business owner, when you can start to see what's going on with your company from that 30,000 feet eye view, and be able to fix problems before they kill you. We ran into an issue, RKG ran into an issue at the end of the last quarter last year. End of the last quarter. So we actually had the worst quarter of our lives in 2019, because we lost in one quarter, in 3 months, I lost $70,000 fucking dollars in a quarter. And then we rolled into January of 2020 into the pandemic, bro. Like, I was like, oh my God, if this doesn't kill us, but we were making sales, we were making money. What we were struggling with was keeping it. It was leaking out of and my company had scaled and grown so big, I could not find the holes. I could not see everything that was going on all the time, and now I can. Yeah. And because of that, I am so proud to say that we not only have we are profitable, and we are more profitable. I was just telling Robbie, I'm like, if we stay, even if we don't grow, if we consistently stay right now, because of the processes and systems that are built in, we have the potential to personally be millionaires in a year, personally. Wow. By taking dividends from the company. It's going really well. And I just started to see that hard shift in the profitability paying off in the last couple of months. I've just always, any of the money that RKG made, I put back into RKG, back into RKG, back into RKG. So we have reaped some of the benefits personally. But for the most part, we've been reinvesting back into the cash flow of our business. And it's been really awesome to see the financial part of that, because of the things that you and I have built out together now, to be able to see that in a way where it's like, wow, there's enough to grow the business and take care of whatever we want to take care of, right? It's like, anymore. This is amazing. Right. And so that's the reason I wanted to bring Nick on. For everybody still with us, thank y'all so much. This did go a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I also knew that it would, because I know how we are when we get chatting. But valuable shit, guys. Like, I hope that you guys got something out of this. And from his story, because it is so powerful, and the tools that have lived in his head from restaurant managing. I can't believe how much you've been able to use from your restaurant experience into my roofing company. It's mind-blowing. But what it tells us is marketing, processes is processes, people are people. Yeah. Employees are employees. It's different businesses. And it's so funny the other day, because I can't remember who said it to me, but I loved it so much, because they're like, Kimba, you love business. Roofing is just the facet of your business. It's just what you do. But my passion is actually business. And I can tell that about you too. Lead mining is what you do, but entrepreneurs have your heart, because you know the passion and the grit and the work ethic and the thinking outside the box and the level of crazy that it takes to actually become something. And so we relate really well on that. But for anybody out there that is struggling with marketing, but even if you're struggling with things like being able to see your company on a bird's eye view, being able to, maybe you're making money, but you're not keeping it. Hey, I was literally there. I was there at the end of last year. And so any of those kinds of problems, reach out to Nick, even if you don't sign up for a service that he's charging you for. He is just an amazing book of information. He's an open book. Y'all can probably already tell, he's a very transparent, genuine, or like, you get what you see, see what you get.
Yeah, and and anyone that wants to reach out, the first conversation, I offer a free consultation. I got a questionnaire I can ask you. You can answer that, and I'll analyze your entire company. And honestly, at the end of it, you don't even have to hire me. I'll tell you everything I would do anyways. So you could either do it yourself or hire me to do it for you. Is basically, I'm not transparent. But yeah, don't hesitate. There's no real money involved. I'd rather just meet you. Feel free to call me or chat me up, and I'd love to just get a relationship going.
Awesome. All right,
Awesome.
Nick, thank you. Thanks everybody that tuned in. We're gonna jump off here, get back to the day. Slay your goals. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Well, thank
Bye.
you.